the founder, owner, and the materials writer of the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And these comments, I'm going to use the first letter of your name. Your name is G. And let's read what you said in the email, and then I'm going to see if I can give you some information that can get you going in the right direction here. Okay, so you say, "Hi Michael, hope you're doing well. I really have problems to catch the main idea both from the listening and the reading, especially in the listening. My problem is that I cannot buy this package because I do not have an account in here, Kenya, and my credit card is not Visa. I just work here and in my country. Please help me. Give me some tips." Excuse me. "Send me your Skype, I beg. I really need your help. Thanks." Okay, G, let's take a look at, so your question is really kind of two parts to the question. First of all, you're having some problems in your listening and your reading areas. And second of all, you're having some problems signing up to my 7-step system, right? Okay, let's see if I can address both of these problems right now. So first of all, let's talk about the listening and the reading areas first. Okay, with the listening, I think in my 7-step system, I think there's two main things that's going to help you, I think, in my course. Number one, and probably something you might have overlooked, is vocabulary. Is in step 1 of my 7-step system, I have a series of lessons and practice tests that help you learn 1,700 TOEFL words. This is very important for you because if you can learn these words, it gives you a good base, a good foundation, and from there, it makes it easier for you to understand listening and reading academic type materials. So that's very, very important. Now, what's also going to help you a lot is with all of these words, I also have the audio files for these words. So you can download them to your notebook computer or your personal computer, and then you can put these things onto portable devices like iPods. And then when you're walking around and doing your job during the day, you can listen to these words so you know how they're pronounced. So also when you're working at my site, you'll take practice tests that help you learn the antonyms, the synonyms. You'll see the definitions, even sample sentences of the words. You'll complete matching exercises, grammar exercises, reading exercises. You even take listening practice tests in my vocabulary part of the course to test your comprehension of these vocabulary words. So that's very, very important. Now, in addition to that, I also have a listening part of my course, which has a series of skill-building lessons and practice tests to help improve your comprehension of academic listening passages. So those are, I think, things that will be interesting to you and will be effective for you in terms of improving your comprehension of listening materials in English. Now, you already know this, but whenever possible, take time to watch TV in English. Take time to listen to the radio in English. These things are also important to get your ears, used to the language. Right now, your ears are slower. And what I mean is they're slow in the sense that they're not used to hearing spoken English maybe, and that makes it hard for you to concentrate on the listening materials, on the TOEFL IBT. Okay, now we've talked about listening. Let's talk a little bit about reading. Now, G, think about this. There's really 4 basic things that you want to do to improve your reading. Right? So number 1 is you need a good vocabulary base. Number 2, you need to practice extensive reading, about 45 minutes each day for several months. I highly recommend that you read longer books that have stories, and the stories develop over several chapters, and that really improves your critical and your speculative thinking of English. And that's very, very good for TOEFL. Now, number 3 is you want some good IBT test-taking strategies for the reading section of the TOEFL. You want to make sure you know how to recognize the different kinds of reading questions on the test and also how to answer those questions. So this is also important for you. And finally, you want to increase your reading speed. You want to improve your reading speed and get it as high as possible while maintaining about 80% comprehension. And this is exactly what my 7-step system will do. I do have a series of vocabularies I've already explained. I have the IBT test-taking strategies for the reading in a series of videos. I also have 70 different speed reading practice tests designed to increase your reading speed from 100 to 350 words a minute. Now, can you imagine if you can read 350 words a minute with 80% comprehension? Can you imagine how easy the TOEFL will be to you? It means that you will be able to find information very, very quickly. And did you know this? That faster readers have better comprehension. Why? Because they have fewer distractions. It's true. That is true there, and that's exactly why I developed these speed reading activities at my reading part of the 7-step system. Alrighty, now the extensive reading area I do not have in my course. There's no point in me in doing that. What you want to do to help you with the extensive reading aspects of your reading proficiency is go to a bookstore or go online and get a book. Typically, a nonfiction type book will work really well. Ideally, the book has maybe 6 to 10 chapters. It's 200 to 400 pages long, and read the whole book. Now, it sounds crazy. A lot of people think I'm crazy when I say this, but when you're practicing extensive reading, the purpose is not to stop after you see words you don't know. You don't want to do that. Just keep reading, and as you go through the different chapters, focus more on the main ideas and get the main part of what's happening. You don't have to know every single detail there. Okay, so far in this part of the video, I've given you some advice and some information about how my 7-step system can help improve your listening and your reading proficiencies, especially as they relate to the TOEFL IBT. Now let's get to your second problem. So your second problem, I think, is you're setting up a PayPal account and you're having problems with your credit card. Now, before you give up on this, if you go to your PayPal account, they have a phone number. I encourage you to call the phone number and have somebody help you. They can probably help you set up your PayPal account so you can create your subscription, right? So call PayPal, see if that works. Now, if that doesn't work, then we go to what's called Plan B. There is another way that you can pay for my services other than using PayPal. And the way you can find out about this, go back to my website at www.bettertoeflscores.com. Right under the video, it has a link called Frequently Asked Questions About My Service. Now click on that link. It'll tell you there, if you don't have a credit card, you can pay me using Western Union. Again, you can pay me using Western Union. Western Union is like an online money type website where you can wire money to me. And what you'll do is you pay Western Union, and the only requirement I have is if you use Western Union, because it takes me some time and effort to do this, is I require that you subscribe to my service for a minimum of 3 months. And if you subscribe for a minimum of 3 months, you want to wire me a payment of $105. That's what you want to do. And then I create an account for you that will give you access to all 330 of my TOEFL lessons in the 7 key areas: vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, reading, listening, writing, and speaking areas. Okay, so let's just recap what I talked about in the video now. So in the first part of the video, I talked to you a little bit about my listening part of my course and how I can help you improve your listening comprehension. And then I talked about some reading things. I talked about 4 things that you need to do to improve your reading comprehension. And I talked about how my website can help you improve in those areas. right? So we covered that, and then near the last part of the video we talked about some other ways of making payments other than PayPal if you're unable to use PayPal, and I mentioned Western Union. And I simply said that you can wire me $105 and then I create a subscription for you that goes for 3 months. Okay, anyway, thank you very much for contacting me and for sending me an email, and I hope in this video I've given you some more information to kind of help you go in the right direction. Remember, don't give up, be consistent in your TOEFL studies, and you will get better. It will become easier for you to listen to spoken English, and you will be able to read more proficiently with practice. Okay, all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.